sure, but a success nonetheless. Recovering from Agent Goodman's death will be no easy task, but you can be sure
Not for me,
Tom
it'll
will
be
not
easy.
idly by while you grieve. The information you recovered from the headquarters of Dumas Industrial Enterprises may prove to be the break you've needed. Report to the war room for a full briefing.
Whatever. There you go.
Go!
Tom.
Good gravy. He was a traitor anyway. She's shooting at nothing.
Agent Kate Archer, please report to the war room. Thank you.
Good grief.
Agent Goodman's death is a terrible blow.
No, it isn't.
No question about it. But although this mission was costly, it may well prove to have been worth the price.
It's 2
I wish I
o'clock.
could believe that.
You mustn't lose sight of our objectives.
Kind of
The
the
sacrifice
loading
of
clock.
any or all of us is a small price to pay to preserve the lives we will save if we are successful. Tom knew the risks. So did Bruno. So do you.
Bruno's alive, you
Doesn't really
twat.
prepare you for losing a partner. It certainly doesn't prepare you for losing 2.
Nothing can prepare you.
Bruno's alive. Goodman's alive.
It's always tragic.
I think Goodman's alive.
But as horrible as it sounds, it's also inevitable.
Pardon me, going up.
It's a dangerous job.
Perhaps Mr. Smith is right.
So's love.
Task.
Rubbish. You've performed remarkably well under extraordinarily difficult circumstances. I confess I was somewhat skeptical at first, but that was before I grasped the magnitude of the situation. In my entire tenure as a field operative, I never once faced a crisis this formidable, and certainly can't say I would have done so with the aplomb and competence you've demonstrated thus far.
I didn't
Mm-hmm.
realize you were a field operative.
He was.
Indeed, for 14 years.
I thought he said 10.
After the war, I found I was having a hard time adjusting to civilian life. Fortunately, an old acquaintance of mine was recruiting for Unity and happened to ring me one afternoon. I've never looked back. Sort of difficult to imagine, isn't it?
Not at all.
You flatter me. Anyhow, let's have no more self-pity. What do you say?
Yes, sir. So before you served on the committee, you and Bruno were colleagues.
And friends.
Did you ever work together on an assignment?
Good
We
about
lost
it.
track of how many times we'd saved each other's lives.
And you still believe he was capable of treason?
In my
Nope.
heart? No.
He-
Intellectually?
It was Smithy.
I don't quite know what to believe. No question about it. He was always a steadfast, resourceful fellow. But the history books are full of patriots turned traitors. There's no telling what a man is capable of, given the appropriate temptations.
I know what I believe.
I admire your conviction, and I pray you're right.
Pretty sure it was not the
Good
right
news would be that we haven't lost another
times for
valuable
though.
agent on this mission.
What news do we have?
Well,
Pardon
our
me.
analysis of Agent Archer's photographs is complete.
And
We have a possible lead on Dr. Schenker's whereabouts.
Shaq
Why
is still
do you classify
alive.
that as good news?
As I said, it's all relative. This harm situation isn't the only crisis in the world, and we're fast running out of competent field agents.
then suppose you get to the point and tell us what we know about Dr. Schenker so we can go fetch him.
It's somewhat speculative at this point, but it's possible that Harm is keeping him at a secret underground research facility in North America. We don't know the
Grand.
location of this facility, but thanks to the
North
photographs
America.
photographed,
So somewhere between USA and Canada.
in western Washington state. It seems the site is being supplied by an American Railways passenger train.
So it is USA then.
Evidence of various trains
Good.
making unscheduled
Well, Canada is
stops
technically speaking
past
North America.
At regular intervals?
Indeed. Probably to drop off supplies and personnel. We're certain that at least one American Railways engineer is on the Harm payroll, although several individuals may be involved. We're looking into it.
What's my assignment?
Phase 1 will be to apprehend the engineer or engineers in question so that we can interrogate them. Once you're aboard the train,
How exactly am I to get aboard?
we'll smuggle them into the galley car.
Grand.
Anyhow, once you're aboard, you will need to tell you precisely whom you'll need to detain. It is safe to presume that other harmed personnel will be aboard the train, so
No shit, Sherlock.
needless to say, seizing the conspirators will prevent the train from making its stop, so you'll have to be sure to detrain at the appropriate time.
Well, after falling out of an airplane, I suppose jumping off a moving train can't be that bad.
That won't be necessary. Once your objectives are complete, you must head for the caboose and detach it when you're near the lumberyard. We'll have an agent in place to switch the track and reroute you to an unused depot behind the lumberyard. This area is not likely to be heavily guarded, so you shouldn't have much difficulty getting through. If all goes according to plan, you will rendezvous with another undercover agent who will, we hope, have information that should help you locate the underground base.
Then I grab Dr. Schenker and get the hell out.
Precisely. We'll have a helicopter nearby awaiting your signal.
Good.
Your flight departs in 1 hour, so if you need to stop by the toy shop, now's the time.
Understood. Thank you for putting things in perspective for me, sir. I promise you I will do everything in my power to destroy harm.
Archer,
Sir,
don't let anger cloud your judgment. Revenge is an understandable impulse, but it is also a contemptible one. Our job is not to avenge, but to protect.
Oh, hurry up and
I
stop
can't
babbling.
just shut off my feelings like a tap.
No, but you can bridle them and use them to fuel your resolve. Destroy harm, but do it to save innocent lives, not to retaliate for those already lost. The moment you give in to wrath, you become as reprehensible.
Oh, hurry up, stop babbling.
We're all called upon to take lives.
Just
from time to
shut
time.
up.
We must neither relish it nor
Seriously.
act over it. It is a duty,
I'm sick and tired of you talking.
but often a necessary one.
I'll do my best, sir.
I have absolute confidence that you will.
There was one more thing, although I'm not sure how important it is. According to one of the documents Archer photographed, it seems the Baron's wife changed her surname some time ago.
Really? So her maiden name isn't McLean?
It's Farnsworth.
Felicity Farnsworth? Are you quite sure?
Positive. Do you know of her?
Aye, that I do. When she was 8 years old, her father, a wealthy banker, was involved in a nasty public scandal involving unmentionable acts with a
grief.
12-year-old boy.
How dreadful.
Mr. Farnsworth committed suicide shortly thereafter. Felicity and her mother, by all accounts a vapid socialite, were ruthlessly ostracized by their peers. Guilt by association, presumably. Furthermore, rather than inheriting
for
the
goodness
fortune she
sake.
expected, Mrs. Farnsworth discovered that her late husband had left the family in inescapable debt. She went quite mad. Several days after being institutionalized, she hung herself.
My word, that poor child.
Felicity fell into the custody of an elderly aunt whose lifestyle was apparently rather more severe than she was accustomed to. About a year later, the aunt took a fatal tumble down the stairs.
Foul play?
No mention was ever made.
What happened to the girl?
She ended up with a foster family where she remained until she was 14. One night she went out her bedroom window and was never seen again. Or at least no one recognized her.
Astonishing.
Where did you learn so much about her?
I studied her.
Come again?
I believe I first read about her in a gossip
Come
column.
on.
I was intrigued by the similarities in our background, so I dug deeper.
What similarities?
Well, we both came from wealthy families. We were both orphaned at a relatively early age. Our fathers both killed themselves, although for very different reasons. We were both plunged into undesirable circumstances and resorted to rather desperate measures to survive. I found it quite uncanny at the time, although in retrospect I think we had less in common than I once believed.
Adversity is the truest test of character. The strong are strengthened by it, the weak made weaker. It sounds like this Baroness didn't have the wherewithal to cope with her misfortunes. It's a common trend among terrorists and...
Come on. Seriously, stop
by
talking.
fate, and therefore feel justified in harming others.
You're frothing.
Sorry, I get carried away.
She's involved somehow.
The Baroness? Upon what unimpeachable evidence are you basing that supposition?
I just have a feeling.
Ah, then the case is as good as closed.
I don't expect you to believe me.
10
but
minutes of
count on you to
fucking
say something
talking.
Smug, if I'm right.
It's virtually guaranteed.
I'm not smug. Acerbic, perhaps, maybe even sardonic, but not smug.
Okay, sure. Whatever you need to tell yourself.
I have to agree with her, Smith.
Oh, for goodness sake,
Either of you
come
have
on.
work to do.
Aye, sir.
Yes, I've been sitting here for 10 minutes. Wait, we need to shut up.
Welcome to Advanced Field Tactics. We've a new perfume for you. This one's a real scorcher. It's a concentrated acid gas with a jelly base to make it sticky. You definitely don't want to get it on you. Here's a spiffy new device that should make dealing with security cameras less of an ordeal. When fastened to a camera, it generates a still image from the camera's viewpoint that should
About
convince
bloody
the
time.
casual watcher that he's seen. Excellent.
Good grief.
Riding a motorcycle is easier than you might suspect. To get on, simply walk up and activate it. Hit activate again.
Whee! Riding cowboy. You can use the mouse, but it's extremely annoying. So I'll just use the keys instead. Whee! Got it, Bennett. Whee! Ay, ay, ay. Any intel? Intel? Anyway? No. Yes? No? Maybe so. Okay, fair enough. Moving on. Alright then. You might want to experiment with both the keyboard and the mouse. Well, yeah.
Excellent.
If Dr. Schenker is indeed being held in this secret underground research facility in North America, it's a safe bet he won't be there for long once Harm figures out what you're up to. The first step is to identify and detain the American Railways conspirator so that we can interrogate him. You will then need to locate the hidden entrance to the facility, find Dr. Schenker, and get him out alive. Without him, we're doomed.
Have you seen anything suspicious?
Shut your face.
Like what?
There's a spy aboard this train.
Are you sure?
I am.
How do you know?
I have
Yeah, whatever.
my sources.
That doesn't really answer my question.
Let's just say I heard it from a little birdie that someone's been poking around, nosing for information about our obliging engineer friend.
Oh.
We don't want that information falling into the wrong hands, do we?
Well, I haven't seen any spies.
If you do, let me know. We don't
Seriously?
tolerate spies.
I'll keep an eye out.
See that you do.
Moron.
Did you say something?
What?
I could have sworn I just heard you call me a Mormon.
Why would I call you a Mormon?
I have no idea.
You have something?
I hope you're happy,
Yeah.
Why?
because I'm not.
What's wrong?
If we had taken a plane, we would have been there yesterday morning. Instead, we're still stuck in this sardine can.
You know how I feel about airplanes.
Man up.
You know how I feel about long, boring train rides because we do this every time we go anywhere.
Sorry. Next time you can fly and I'll ride the train.
You mean travel separately?
Why not?
You don't like traveling with me?
Sure, but I want you to be happy.
You're just trying to get rid of me, aren't you?
Good grief.
Calm down.
You probably just want to have an affair with some train riding hussy.
Oh,
Don't be silly.
don't have the tickets.
Hello?
Nothing like shooting people. Let's see what we have here. Any more info? No? Right, mission updated. Apparently. Restroom, no, okay, fair enough. Moving on. Come on, there's got to be some serious smeg around here.
Who goes there?
Shit in buckets. Right, saved it and stuff. Just need to find a passenger's ticket, which probably be in one of the other departments somewhere.
I hope you're happy.
Why?
Because I'm not. That was a great supper.
wrong?
Did
Someone
you
there?
If we take this plane,
For goodness sake. Will this actually show up in heat signatures?
I hope you're happy.
No.
Why?
Because I'm not.
What's wrong?
If we had taken a plane, we would have been there yesterday morning.
Tickets, please.
Instead, we're still stuck in this sardine can.
You know how I feel about airplanes.
And you know how I feel about long, boring train rides because we do this every time we go
Tickets,
anywhere.
please.
Sorry. Next time you can fly and I'll ride the train.
You mean travel separately?
Why not?
You
Right.
don't like traveling with me?
Sure, but I want
You already
to be
checked
happy.
her.
You're just trying
Seriously,
to get rid of me,
check
aren't
her.
you?
Honey, calm down.
Tickets, please.
You
Sorry.
probably just want to have an affair with some train riding hussy.
Don't be silly.
Tickets, please.
Goodness sake. What's
Tickets, please.
thing? Intel? Come on, move.
Tickets, please.
Yeah, I agree.
Tickets, please.
Yes. Moving on. Yeah. Hello, doll.
I'm on my way to visit my mother in Portland. I
Tickets,
can't
please.
think of a better way to travel. Can you?
Plane, maybe?
Tickets, please.
Look.
Tickets, please.
Let's wait for him to walk
Tickets, please.
through, past the door. And I will end this here. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, games for games. You better smoke me kipper, because I will be back for breakfast. Farewell.